We have on the show today a trusted authority based on human communication. Dan has founded 3 companies to deliver his message on trust, decoding human behavior and using it to map a customer's journey is how he designs trust. Some of his illustrious clients are Unilever, Philips, and the Royal Dutch Football Association. His favorite saying is, "We say what we think, but we do what we feel." A profound statement pregnant with meaning. Jan is also the president of the Professional Speakers Association of Holland. Let us know more about him from the man himself. Welcome to the show, Jan van der Spoel. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Premraj, and thank you, Deepak.
Can we know a bit more about you and how is it that you zeroed to get interested in the topic of trust?
I have been working as a designer and a creative director for almost 30 years. And then what you try to do is establish communication.
Right.
And what you experience today with marketing and communications, I experienced in my job as well, that it became empty, that everybody is making a nice picture, slap on some nice words, and we push it out there, and now everybody is going to buy our product. And it doesn't work anymore. We don't trust those messages anymore. And I've always designed my communication campaigns around two main characteristics. The audience, the end user audience, should be able to understand the message and trust it. So this was always the core in what I did. This is interesting because when you actually know what you want to say, when you find the words, everything falls into place like a reverse jigsaw puzzle. And I remember the moment I walked on the street and I was trying to find interesting books about trust. And I was trying to find a book with the title of Grip on Trust, because that's what we try to find. And it wasn't there. And even the name wasn't registered. So I thought, well, this is me. So walking on the street, I captured the name gripontrust.com. And this is really my brand, and in combination with my name. So this is my origin story for now.
What is trust? What are the most critical factors that decide the level of trust?
Yes, that's an interesting question. What is trust? I'm almost inclined to ask you the question. Let's start with Deepak. What do you think trust is?
That's when 2 people are on the same wavelength. Mm-hmm. They understand their feelings and emotions, mm-hmm. and they are willing to sacrifice themselves or give their back for the other person.
Trust is a bond between two. It could be 2 individuals. It could be an individual and company. It could be B2C. It could be B2B.
Yes. Interesting. Payal, would you like to say what your ideas are about trust?
For me, trust comes from a heart. When we converse, we should be very loyal and true to our own self, rather than having that fake face. The human connection which you are very much into, human to human connect, it should come from heart. So trust is truth. For me, trust is truth.
Trust is truth.
Your own self, and then only you can be true to others.
It's about human science. There are no real boundaries about it. You cannot say when trust starts or stops. So when you, I use three factors that influence trust. And the first one is empathy. Empathy, character, personality. That's number 1. Number 2 is competence, skill. Do you know what you are about? And the third one is behavior or integrity. And they all play a different role in your relationship with someone else. So when you first of all start with the relationship, you don't know the person, and you encounter them. The first thing, especially in a business relationship, empathy is important. Do you have some kind of rapport? Do you have some kind of niceness between you? Because when you want to have a business relationship, and the other person says, "What do you want to you want to buy something for me or sell something for me?" No, well, that's just not a good start. So that's where trust lives. And well, let's keep it at that for now. So it's empathy, competence, and behavior, and you can
That's
tweak all those three items and at every relationship point in time.
that's beautifully put. Empathy, competence, and behavior. Is trust something that happens, or can you influence the level of trust between two people?
Trust happens, yes. It's always there. It's not something you can delete. And this is also an interesting thing when you look at artificial intelligence, or when companies try to have a really engaging relationships with customers, without considering how trust works, or what the emotional relationship is. So I really don't believe in a relationship with a company that goes through artificial intelligence, or what kind of fancy talking bots at all. that doesn't work that way. That when you, it's better not to promise anything at all than to promise too much, because everything you say you will do and you don't, or you do it very late or a little bit, it creates space and it lowers the level of trust a little bit. And it maybe doesn't really do a lot, but when you do the same thing over and over and over again, and when it becomes a pattern, people start figuring you out and say, okay, I know I cannot. Well, this is the point.
Well made
Before
point.
before this presentation, you would get away with it, but now you know what you do.
Hmm. Based on this, can we say interpersonal trust is the foundation of all other relationships?
Yes, absolutely. Interpersonal trust is the foundation of all relationships. Well, it's what it is. It's what lives between your rational mind and your feeling mind. It's always there, and when you start, and it always has a base level. When you want to buy a second-hand car, and you get to the dealership, your base level of whomever is going to come up you is not that high. So he has to work very hard, or he has to work very hard to get the base level of trust in somewhere near a level that you really want to engage in a sale. So interpersonal trust is always there, and it is based on your previous experiences. I was talking to a friend of me a couple of weeks ago, and she's working in a healthcare facility right now. And she said, well, the team is not doing well. There's no trust in the team. And I said, okay, so how are you going to fix this? And she said, well, yes, we probably will have to talk a lot. But as I said before, you can talk, but that doesn't fix the issues. So if you look at when there's no trust in a team, where does it come from? Most likely is that people don't do what they say they would do. So and the interesting thing is, when you as a manager sit in front of the team and say, listen, we have agreement, and we have a way of doing things, and you don't do it, and that has to stop. That doesn't really build trust. But if co-workers in a team say to each other, listen, I don't trust you anymore, that really hurts if that is it's not going to go away. And if they say you can repair this by adjusting your behavior in this way.
Yes, yes. And I want to take this ahead since you mentioned this. Uh, 1.5 years back, Gillette took a stand asking men to soften it down, with their ads in the US. And it immediately created a backlash, and people said, we will boycott Gillette, and they lost a lot of market. And it took them a lot of time to, rebuild up that trust. So when brands start taking sides or, start talking about social issues, like you mentioned, Nike picked up this fellow and he said, no, we believe in you. So one question is, should brands be doing this? Isn't it such a big risk? And if that risk doesn't play out, how do they build back that trust?
First of all, it shouldn't be a gimmick. If you think, if you sit down with your marketing team and say, hey, we need a gimmick, we need something to push out our brand name, and maybe some viral stuff going on the internet.
Yes.
Then it's not going to happen. It has to fit in with the core belief of the company, and maybe not the company, but with the CEO, the owner of the company. Because when the marketing department is trying to push up some kind of purpose idea into the world, and the CEO doesn't endorse it, and 3 years later there's another heartfelt purpose, and 4 years later another heartfelt purpose. Yes. People recognize it as crap, as veneer, as a picture with nice words. So yeah. Yes, it does work, but it has to come from the heart, because that's, as we're talking about trust, that's what people trust. People trust companies that do stuff like this.